So today we're going to talk about AI agents. So I think and I hope that everyone is using Cloud Code, Anthropic, and etc. So in the previous sessions, the previous mentors also mentioned about this kind of agents, how to use. So in these sessions, we will more focus on how to use AI agents and do some kind of demo projects during this session. So we will talk about the tools we have right now. For example, it might be Cloud Code, it might be Anthropic, and etc. And we're gonna see how to use the right way. For example, even you don't have any experience on the software engineering, I would recommend how to use, and we will see how to use and how to deploy our projects. In the end of the lecture, in the end of the session, you will build this kind of things and deploy your product on the cloud. If you have any domains, we can combine it and deploy our product. Yeah, we will see this kind of projects. And before we start, I guess, yeah. As you know, this is the most trending topic in this area. And before we start, I want to start with a person, not a student, not a user, or it's a real person. So let's say your name is Aziza and she is 30 years old and she works as accountant in, let's say, in Uzbekistan. And his managers told that you should learn Python and you should learn AI agents in the next 4 months, let's say. And she will not have a job if she or he will not learn about this. And let's say the candidate and the worker has downloaded the several PDFs and Python books and blogs and etc. and bought so many courses. And he should learn the Python. You know that it's not easy for beginners who has not any technical background. And let's say as an accountant, he or she needs to build some kind of platform for their company and automate her or his tasks, for example, at least 50%. We have to remove the manual tasks. So that's why the candidate should learn about AI agents. In that case, we're gonna build some kind of platform that helps the worker to learn anything. It can be the Python, it can be any language by just uploading their documents, books, and courses, and he will talk with their documents and learn something. It can, for example, ask some kind of questions. It can evaluate his abilities by giving some kind or this kind of questions, and he can increase this abilities and his skills using this kind of platform, let's say. And the previous session you learned about the RAGs, and in the first lectures I've also mentioned about the embeddings and RAGs. So we have to combine this kind of topics and build one project without writing any lines of code, just prompting and building this kind of platform, and we're gonna deploy it on the. So with time, tell the of coding. In our university, write the comments to our codes, for example, readable by others. So we have to include some kind of comments or doc blogs, and then we can pass some kind of assignments, let's say. And if you look through the GitHubs, you will see the documentations written and the codes where you can find the comments. And in the previous sessions, I told that AI will learn from the data sets. So in these years, by writing comments to our codes, we collected data sets. So we collected some kind of data sets, and then we are able to train our models. For example, if you remember the initial, our co-workers like our assistants was GitHub Copilot, where we can write the comments and it can generate some kind of methods or some kind of functions. So by giving them the comments, for example, let's say evaluate the square, or for example, let's say implement a login page or validate this kind of usernames or validate some kind of, let's say we can give any comments and it will generate the code based on our comments. So that was the initial part of the evaluation of the vibe coding. So in the previous years, we collected dataset by giving comments to codes, and then uh, evaluated, and we the researchers able to create some kind of agentic flows by improving this kind of models. And you know that there are people in two groups. Some of them are saying that the vibe coding is not good, and some others are saying the vibe coding is the very good. So then, very good, and it can replace the software engineers. So we have two kind of groups. Both of them are correct. Why? Because, as you know, at some points AI can hallucinate or AI can generate some kind of trash code or buggy code. So we have to evaluate or rewrite some codes which are generated from AI agents. So why do you think this happens? Because, as I mentioned before, so our all AI models are trained from the datasets. So for these datasets, even for Cloud Code, even for Antigraph, Gemini, we have to collect the dataset from the open source models. So you know that most open source codes on GitHub is written by, let's say, written by juniors. So that's why it can be generate some kind of buggy codes. I'm not saying that juniors are not writing good quality of the codes, but I'm telling you how this kind of models are evaluated. Because of these kind of open source codes are written mostly by juniors, and we collected them and train it on this data. And if you iterate and if you use more and more, for example, you can just iterate through the generated codes and you will get the better results. For using them more, you will get the more better results. So you have to use more and uh, review your codes or ask from AI how to review. So we're gonna see this in our practical sessions during this session. So I have told that how these kind of models are being trained and how evaluated. So we talked about that. And now we have to be like the builder mindset. So we should define the problems or define the features, what we have, what we want to implement clearly by giving the clear context. We'll see. And while working with agents, you have to break down your features or your willings as much as possible. So AI can build if you give some kind of clear and small tasks, and it can generate easily without any hallucinations, without any, let's say, bugs, and etc. And we have to use AI for, we're gonna see how kind of flow we have in order to use, in order to write use. So we talked about vibe coding, and I'm going to ask about your level so far. What do you think, which level you are? For example, are you using the cloud code from terminal, or are you still using ChatGPT or let's say Gemini from the UI interfaces and copying and pasting your codes, your solutions? Uh, what do you think? What's your level? So if we have, for example, from 0 to 10, how do you evaluate your level? You can write on chat. Okay, 5, 5. Okay. And let's see our levels. So we have 5 levels in this picture. So the level 0 means that the who is writing codes manually still. So there are people who is writing code manually without using AI because they might be not trust to AI, or they have some kind of environments, so they don't have any access to internet and etc. So even so let's say if even they have no any internet connection, they can use AI with local solutions. We have this kind of environment, so we created and deployed our local agents. Like we used Qwen code, and we are using it in internal, where we are not able to use internet. So we are using Qwen. So this is not level 0. We will talk about it. And level 1 is the coding intern. So AI writes unimportant or boilerplate codes. So this is also not automated solutions. As you can see here is most probably level 4, and level 3 is our mainly software engineers in Uzbekistan are like this level. So for example, they can trust AI, but they have to review. As you can see here is in this picture, the Tesla is driving car. So just the girl is watching and reviewing. And the level 2 is just giving everything with dangerously skip permissions. So, and just sleeping and just, for example, approving by pressing yes, yes, etc. And the final level is the factory we have. So we are also creating this kind of factory where you can just upload your technical requirements or your tasks to AI, and it will automatically implements the features and test the features, and also deploys to production, even to production level. So we are building this kind of virtual software engineers office company where you're gonna use in the future, I hope. And you will just give some kind of task or even the technical requirements of the full platform, and you're gonna see the final product on the cloud. And so here is AI as a partner. So in order to use AI efficiently, you have to plan first. So you have to plan what you want to do. Um, for example, if you don't know how to use, for example, Kubernetes or the Docker, or how to choose some kind of tools, you can just ask from AI by turning on the plan modes. So let's say you want to build some kind of product and you are not a technical person. So you have to plan the idea of the platform and ask the golden prompts. So I'm going to tell this kind of golden prompts to everyone right now. For example, uh, ask the how to ask from the AI in order to build production ready product and the secure products, for example, not vulnerable or not some kind of buggy codes. So we will see. So in order to do it, we have to plan. And while planning, we have to ask several questions. For example, ask the solutions from AI. And for example, you can ask which kind of option or which kind of tools to use is better if we build this kind of A product. And AI give you some kind of options. For example, AI can generate 3 options, and you will ask again, for example, why I have to choose this kind of option A or option 2 or option 3. And it will give you some kind of proofs and you will see and learn and approve. And if the everything seems fine, you have to start your implement. So by implementing, as I mentioned before, so we have to implement the small chunks, small features, and then we have to test. And I hope you are using the Cloud Code headless browsers as well. If not, I'm going to show you. So we're gonna see headless browsers to test our platforms as well. So what is headless browser? So uh, I think that everyone is here are aware of how to use the integrated tests and A/B testing and etc. So this is like the traditional tests. So where we are able to test our platform. So except this, we're gonna test as a user. For example, if we want to build some kind of web app, so we are going to use headless browsers where the agent will open your Chrome browser and test every buttons, every features you have built. So, and it can uh, get some kind of screenshots and it can write reports like the QA tester. So we're gonna see this one as well. And after that, for example, after each features, you have to write some kind of release notes and the feature docs in order to be understandable and in order to be more efficient for implementing next features. So you have to write it down that every features docs and release notes as an MD file while working with Cloud Code. And AI will learn and AI will try to update every features by looking this kind of documents. And after the all steps, we can just commit and see. So now you know that in these steps, in this flow, right now you should be involved. If you are not in, for example, level 4 or level 5, so you have to evaluate and review this kind of steps. And let's say we're gonna build real examples, as I mentioned here. So we build this kind of platform, or we also can build the your final assessment together. I'm not able to build the final project, but we're gonna build some kind of parts and some kind of features, and we will see how to build the right and efficiently. Before we start, I'm going to show you the Google's features as well. If you see the final event, which were, I guess, 2 days ago or 3 days ago, they published this kind of new features in Google AI Studios, and they also released Google Omni models, where you can build anything from any models, any inputs. So have you seen this kind of features? Have you tested AI Studio? So building Android apps using this web app. Have you seen it? Okay. Okay. If you want, we can test it. I haven't used it so far, so we're gonna test together. So let's choose one app. So we will build for Androids. So for example, which kind of apps you want to implement using this kind of Google AI Studio. Let's choose one and we're gonna build because it will take some time. So and we'll move to another part while building this. So do you suggest or should I ask from AI? Yeah, it's free, so you can test it. aistudio.google.com. So the core features are free, but for the free users, there are some kind of limitations. For example, you have daily limits, or you have a limit on the models, and yeah, but you can try and test, even you have any free versions as well. Also, it's incredible. Okay, let's ask from AI to build. Yeah, yeah. Please rate 10 ideas to build AI, not AI, using AI from. Let's see what the AI will suggest. Okay, smart camera, live audio accent. Okay, pushcart tag, build and call. Okay. Let's choose the easier one. I guess this one is easier. So as you can see, AI is giving us the suggested prompts as well. We're gonna use this without doing anything, without editing. So we have to include this build an app, Android app. So as you can see, it's attached here, and also you can add more features as well. For example, if you want to include the music generation in your app, you should include this one, or even you can add the database and authentication as well. So AI Studio is not generating only front-end side, and also generating code for backend as well, and the connections between database and also authentications as well. So, and also we have the all features use Google search data. Let's say this one, and we're gonna add, let's say, chatbot, and I guess that's enough. So let's start build, and I guess we have to connect our phone to the AI Studio, because in order to build and in order to run the app, we have to connect our phones here. So let's see what we're gonna see here. So it's syncing. Oh, cool. So we have ready emulator as well here. So we don't have to connect right now. So it's generating some kind of codes. Yeah, okay. And I guess these buttons are working. And what about this one? This is not ready so far. Okay. You can ask any questions. Okay, select design. Why was the design? Okay. We're gonna select the design. And okay. Let's see. And okay, we have selected our design. So just randomly, without seeing anything, and started building. And while it's working, so we're gonna use Cloud Code. So I have some kind of ready prompts. So we're gonna use Cloud Design in order to design our web platform. So we're gonna use the final assessment during this. So have you used this Cloud Code design, or it's also the first time, or haven't used it? Okay. Okay, let's start designing the final projects. So I'm going to give the prompt. So I uploaded the, not this one, I guess this was a brief. Let's see. I think you have this kind of documents, the final project. So let's design for this platform, and we're gonna implement one by one, by planning and by, for example, implementing the small features. So first, we have to uh, generate a prompt, good prompt for designing this platform. We will ask from Cloud Code in order to give us a prompt for designing this platform. So could you please generate prompt to give Cloud Code, not Cloud Code, Cloud Design AI. We have to include all features and give it to design, generate, and define. Let's see the results, and let's see what we have on the Google AI Studio. It's still building, and we will get the prompt. So it's started generating prompt, and after finishing this MD file, we're gonna give it to Cloud Design, and let's open the terminal and open local directory from our local computer. Let's prepare this one while waiting this. So it's generating prompts for us. I guess it's too detailed. So we haven't asked to give us the brief and the clear. So let's wait. As you can see, I'm not just writing any codes, or I'm not editing anything, because we have to uh, respect our times. So uh, in your, for example, experience, you have to read each details and accept, for example, if it's acceptable, or if it's not acceptable, you should edit. So don't do this in your experience. So I'm just giving you some kind of examples. So let's call these projects in AI. And so we're gonna give this empty file, I guess, which file, design prompt, okay. It's attached here. Let's start. Let's start designing based on attached MD file. And it will ask some questions. So we have several questions so far. So we have to answer. Design system for MVP, core flow, page only for MVP, full MVP. Let's select presentation format, attractive mobile both prototype, and okay. And let's choose the accent color. So let's choose this one or this. Both. Let's say not the web app. Okay. We answered every questions that the code design asked. And after finishing this design, you should choose from there, for example, share button. And here, as you can see, here's a handoff to Cloud Code. And you're gonna see this kind of prompts. And you will copy this comment and paste it to the Cloud Code terminal. And it will use this kind of ready design from this link after finishing this design and starts implementing the code and the features from this design. So first, we're gonna weigh the readiness of this design, and we will start implementing one by one. So let's wait, and if you have questions, you can ask while waiting. So okay. And also, I can share the another analog to cloud design. So Stitch or Stitch. Have you tried this one? This is tool from Google. So exactly the same tool like cloud design. So you can try this one as well. So for designing your apps, it's also free to use. You can design and implement your apps, even the Android apps and web apps using this Stitch, and implement it using Gemini or Anthropic. So while waiting, it's ready. As you can see, here is the study AI platform, and let's test these buttons. Yeah, it's working. Yeah, and if you remember that in order to build Android apps, you have to install Android Studio, which is the most heavy program for Windows users. And it shows here the one error running the code. So we have runtime error here. So we're gonna press this fix button. While fixing, we're gonna test another features. So Gemini Pro, I guess it's some kind of laggy. Oh, emulator is also working fine without just installing any emulators on our local computer. We are using the web on the web from Google AI Studio. So you can also implement Android apps using Google AI Studio. So while waiting our design, so here is design is somehow ready. So it's started. So okay, the landing page is here ready, and dark mode also working. Markups, okay. Okay, and I'm going to show you how to deploy your apps, web apps, to Cloudflare for free. Have you tried the Cloudflare? Oh, haven't tried Cloudflare. Do you have any experience with pages and compute and pages? So have you deployed your front ends landing page to Cloudflare? Hayat Rahim is right. Okay. Okay. Mostly the most people use the Cloudflare for proxies or for domains as a registrator in order to point some kind of their apps. So I'm going to show you this kind of features from the Cloudflare page. So it's also free. So you can create pages and workers from Cloudflare and deploy your apps for free. So in order to, it's very easy. You're gonna just create an application and connect your GitHub and choose repo. It should be React. So if your code is React, your platform is written on React, you can just connect it and deploy it to Cloudflare. And also you can bind your domain here for free. So as you can see, I have several projects working on Cloudflare for free. So let's see I guess it's fixed. I have fixed the crash. The issue stemmed from common Jetpack compose navigation. Okay. Okay. Still not navigating. So we have to iterate. So our main focus wasn't about this Android app. This was just giving some kind of brief information about the building Android apps using Google AI Studios as well. So we can just try and iterate through prompts. So, and also you can just plan here as well. For example, before building anything, you have to plan and write it down as MD file, all features, all solutions as MD file, and then start implementing one by one. So even here from the AI Studio as well, you can plan and implement. So let's see our design from here. I guess it's creating stats, but it's not ready so far. Okay. Okay. Okay, tweaks. Okay. We will not. Okay. Will not edit anything. Let's wait. Or you can just start implementing from here as well without waiting the finish. So we're gonna copy and paste this prompt here, and it will also take some time to build this kind of landing page as well. So as you can see here, I just copied and pasted the designing code. So here we haven't tried and we haven't planned anything so far. So we approve. And after implementing the design, we're gonna plan the features, the core features. I have prepared the ready prompts so far in order to not to lose our times as well. So, and we'll uh, give ready prompts to AI in order to plan and for creating Claude MD as well. So why I haven't choose the auto mode? Because right now we are just designing, so it's not okay for. Okay. So in order to build a cloud, a memory project, we have to create a file for our projects, root called CloudMD. So Cloud Code reads this on every session, on every prompt, which will give, ask, or where we can uh, write anything about our projects. So in order to build this kind of uh, Cloud MD, we're gonna tell it this kind of prompts. So here is my prompt. So we're gonna use this kind of ready prompts. So we will explain our projects and the core features, what kind of features we want to implement, the core features, and we can just recommend stack or we can just skip. For example, if we don't have any options on the stack, we can just remove and we're gonna tell what to write, what to not write in CloudMD file. So as you can see, we clearly defined the not write any code yet. So we are just clearly saying, even we are on plan mode, we are just saying not write any code. Your task is right now read the brief and ask 5 sharp clarifying questions you would ask a real client before starting. Pick the question that would change the architecture the most if they answer them differently. So as I mentioned before, uh, we will use the golden prompts like this, for example, asking questions from us in order to clarify our projects, our features. And AI will generate the questions based on these core features. And also, and after finishing all, it will generate Cloud MD file by filling the whole idea and the whole stacks and rules to a core folder, a core file. After that, the Cloud will use this output uh, files. So let's see here, just port what exists. Okay, all screens. Okay. And if you want to switch modes, you can just press Shift and Tab, and it will switch the mode. So we will use plan mode for this prompt right now. So it will take some time in order to build this, and we pasted our prompts here in order to build CloudMD file. After Claude response, we will answer the questions and refine the Claude MD file and save it as a final version to our repo. So then, after finishing Claude MD file, we're gonna start implementing the features. And also, we have this kind of flow while working with Cloud Code. Plan and save as MD file or plan and start implementing without saving as MD file. There is two kind of ways. If you are in a starting point, you have to save every features as an MD file because our memory is limited. So we have to write it down the every core features, the every solutions as an MD file in order to be more precise. And if we are implementing the small features, we can just plan and start implementing without saving these plan mode responses to file. There is two kind of ways we'll see it. So in a starting point, you have to save the whole ideas as an MD file. So the screens are almost ready. So it's building, and after finishing this, we will start this, or just we can hit the enter, and it's on queue. So after finishing this, it will automatically starts here from here and generates Cloud MD file. And also, we can also create agents where the sub agents will work on the UI part and another agents work on this Cloud MD. Do you have any experience on the agents? Can I use Cloudflare for Golang versus Flutter deploying? No, I guess, because it only for Flutter apps, not Flutter apps, but for Reacts. Stitch buttons, right? Okay. While waiting these responses, we can start Q&As if you want. You can ask agent-related questions. It can be for Cloud Code-related Cloud Code topics, or the Cloudflare, or Stitch, Google AI Studio. So because it takes some time to be ready, so here's why it stopped. We have to find, okay, it's almost starting. There is no any sessions here. Someone shared the credits from Google Cloud. Have you tried to apply to Google AI for startups? If you have any, how did you get it? In the previous sessions, I told about how to get credits from Google AI. So you can just look through the initial sessions and you will see. How can I use this for AI Studio Gemini API? Okay, when you use the AI Studio, you should bind your billing to AI Studio. It will ask in order to work with AI Studio for paid versions, you have to connect your billing account here. Let's say I already connected. So, okay. Let's say if you want the pro features, let's say paid image, paid, uh, it will ask you to link your paid billing account API key. So you have to set up your billing. And while setting up your billing, you will choose the projects where you have added your credits. I guess this one is project is on top. So called my first projects. So while connecting, you should choose my first project and it will automatically charge from these credits. Okay, I applied AI startups Google, but it sends me the email, more details again and again, like bots. Okay. Uh, if you haven't included the startup information and the pricing page and etc., it can ask the even for pitch decks as well in order to give you some credits. So it's better to include the all details about your startups in the about sections uh, on your website, and it will not ask this kind of questions if you include the all the informations on your web platform. Let's see. It stopped. We have to. Okay. So now start it again. So we have interrupted and just type at the continue prompt and it will just start it. So syncing I think the one that the not good side of AI is just waiting. So it's not fast right now. It takes some time to implement and sync. Okay, let's see. Yeah, it's like the portfolio websites. So you have to be, I think you have to redesign your website. You shouldn't include the technologies here, but you have to give the what kind of the problem you are solving. So you have to add these informations as well. Why this website is working, what kind of problems it solves. So you have to include these informations. There are no any information about your dream study platform. So that was main reason why they rejected. Okay, let's see. Still building the screens HTML canvas. Or let's create another terminal from here. We're gonna create a code.md file from another session in order to not to lose our times. So we're gonna use our prompt. Where was it? Here is the prompt. Okay, there is a prompt. We're gonna say here. As you can see, we are planning our futures. It should generate us cloud MD file, and we will use it. Okay. As you can see that I didn't ask Cloud Code write any codes. I asked to interview me. That is the single biggest mindset shift for non-engineers. Treat cloud like a senior engineer who just joined to your company. And the first hour they will ask the questions. They write a doc, then they will touch to code. So here we are. The code will start asking questions, and then it will touch the code. So uh, let's say it will start giving us some kind of options to answer. And yeah, even if your startup is app, so you have to write all informations to your web app landing page as well. You should include all informations. So here is proposed CloudMD file. So it includes the text as well, and the repo layout and naming conventions for future development and security rules here. Every prompt, as you can see here, is the cloud must be have on every prompt planned before refactoring. Any change touching 30 lines or two files, present a plan and wait for approval. So it will ask and it will plan and ask, for example, approval from us. And side docs, test with code. And migrations are scary. Never edit, apply the migrations, a new one. And yeah, want me to write this or wait until you answered 5%. So, okay. So let's see. We have 5 clarifying questions. For the first questions, data residence primary region, payment clicks only imply Uzbekistan users. Is there regular? So if you don't know any answer to these questions, you can ask from Claude. Could you please give us 3 options to choose with POC? For the first questions, we are asking proof of concept and 3 options. And for the second questions, LM provider cost selling per active users. Let's see, we're gonna use Gemini as a LLM. Let's say we have only Uzbek. For the fourth timer, the gap detection can plunge are safe and run executions. Connecting to framework. or no tools manual, and where does the long-term measurement be? This is let's see. For the first questions is more technical. So let's say we don't have any answer for that. So we gonna ask again from cloud. Let's give us three options with POC, proof of concept. This was the okay, and the final one. Check about surface. Is the board welcome? Or does it raise a full chat because if later let's say for five, we're gonna say you choose. And again, it will ask the questions in order to choose from these three options. As you can see, this session is also waiting our approval for CloudMD. So we're gonna skip this. So we will skip this one because now we are creating CloudMD file from these sessions. So it's almost ready. Okay, option A, it gives us options, and with pros and cons, we will see and review each pros and cons, and we will choose. For example, option A, data stays in Uzbekistan. Cons, mhm, let's choose for question one, option one. Okay, question two is ready. For question four, we're gonna choose agent framework, link chain, agentic. Let's choose line graph. Question two, line graph, option one, I guess, or option A. Option A. Option A. Option A. First question. This one, first question. And the final question, yeah. So based on our options, our answers, it will start implementing CloudMD file. And after that, we'll implement some core features. I didn't just ask what kind of architecture we have to use. I asked Cloud Code to give us some kind of options and compare them. So this was a core idea to build with Cloud Code. And also what I want to mention is the most important prompting trick I learned in the whole project, so in the whole experience. Never let Cloud Code give you one answer. When the question has some kind of real trade-offs or you don't have any experience to answer these questions, ask from the cloud to give you some kind of three or five options. Let's say the less the options, more the choices you have, and ask every time the pros and cons and why I have to choose this option. Ask, for example, and if you don't have any experience using some kind of technical stacks or you have you have to choose some kind of architecture designing, ask from Cloud Code. This was the main part. So yes, we have allowed the all sessions. So wrote the Cloud MD file, and let's say based on our agreement with Cloud, we're gonna give the next prompt so far. So we're gonna give this kind of prompt. Let's say this was our next prompt. Based on the architecture, we agreed on the write a plan to scaffold the repository, include the folder structure, and the exact files you will create. Step 1, Docker setup, environment example, it ignores README files. So before implementing, so we have to create some kind of structures, the files, and it ignores and everything we should prepare in advance in order to build. So we're gonna again planning. We haven't started yet so far, so we are just planning with this prompt, and we will review the plan and edit if anything is wrong. So, for example, we can just remove some kind of, let's say, if we don't approve, we don't want to approve. So the flow was, as you can see, the plan, review and build and review every step. I never let Cloud run the free for more than one logical task at a time. So if I lose the focus, or for example, we can just get some kind of not expected answers. So every time we have to look through these plans and approve right now. So the project folder seems like fine, let's say, and the environment examples, okay. And after finishing this, we're gonna implement authentication. So the basic core idea for our platform. So for authentication as well, we're gonna plan first, then start implementing. So as you can see, we are just doing some kind of boring things, but it will help you to create less bugs on your platform, on your project. So we have to plan the authentication system for requirements. We are giving this kind of requirements. So email, password, sign up, and login, Google authentication, GVT-based sessions, and the output, the DB schema we are just expecting from cloud, the API endpoints, front-end page, and etc. So we're gonna plan this flow first and write it as a MD file and start implementing after giving this feature. Let's see. Okay. So as you can see, say go and I'll execute steps 1 to 9. Repo post tooling. Okay. Okay. Say go and master this prompt, and we're gonna have some kind of ready plans for authentication as well. we have to wait some time in order to be ready this plan. We are almost ready to start implementation of this authentication and step by step the another features as well. So in build mode, after this, yeah, it's design the database schemes, providers. Okay, and we're gonna use this prompt implement the plan. So we're gonna implement the plan. So as you can see, we haven't saved the plan to any file. So as I mentioned, if your plan is included more features, you have to save it. If it's single feature or the small feature, you haven't saved it as a file because it's, as you can see, it's not a big deal so far. So we're gonna say implement the plan, start with database migration, then backend endpoints, then front-end page, and we passed it without saving this plan, and it will start implementing, and we're gonna see the results. I'm just skipping some parts, for example, not approving, not waiting for finish in order to be more precise on our time. After finishing this, we're gonna test our authentication with headless browser, and we can just, and after testing, we can just finish. So let's wait implementation of this authentication, and we're gonna use headless browser to test our authentication flow with some kind of reports using screenshots from our platform. Do we have enough token or limit usage to do on Cloud AI? Yeah, it will take some tokens. It will burn out the tokens if you plan more, but it will be less buggy if you plan and be more precise. And that's why I'm not using sub agents. If I add some kind of agents, it will burn more tokens as well. So running multiple agents can consume more tokens. So here we are just using single agents, yeah, in order to be more, let's say, approach better answers. Exactly. I guess it will take 5 or 6 minutes to implement all the features. And after that, we will use headless browsers. See? So I changed the mode. So in order to uh, not ask any questions, so it will do it automatically without asking any questions in auto mode. It will install Dockers and anything related to our core features. We're gonna trust in this period. So for this feature only, and it's reading through files, and we prepare the next token for testing using headless browsers. Uh, we have to test our headless feature using headless browser. So test. So here is the phases. It's implementing. So why are you using code on terminal? So because it's comfortable to use terminal, so you can use the integrated some kind of VS Code UI chats as well, but I'm not suggest to use here because, as a level 3 or level 1 user. If you use from here, for example, ask some kind of features and copy and paste the codes, you are likely in level 1 or level 2. So you have to use even terminal or from VS Code integrated UI chats, not the UI from cloud.ai. Okay. And also I want to mention about the cons of the live sessions. As you can see, we have to wait without just speeding up the video, or example, or etc. So that's why I prefer to watch not lives, but the recorded sessions. If I learn something, I'm going to learn at least with 2x while watching or while learning something. So there is some kind of cons watching these live sessions. We cannot increase the speed duration, so we have to wait. Database is ready. Let's see cloud headless browser. This was what I want to show you. Let's be browser for agents. seems to. Okay, phase zero is ready. So minimum scaffolding is ready. So we have to wait for DB migration for all 8 authentication tables. Then it will automatically test using a script, not headless browsers, using integration tests. And after the all 6 phases or 7 phases, we're gonna use the headless browsers. So we have to wait the 6 phases here right now. And I hope the tests will gonna finish fast. So, okay. And while waiting, we're gonna sum up our outcomes. For example, here in the summary point, not knowing AI is a problem, not building with AI is bigger problem. So we have to use AI in every daily life so far. So as the smartphones we are using every time, so we have to use AI as much as possible in order to grow, in order to uh, learn something. So we have to use AI. And what else? We learned about the Cloudflare, how to deploy our platforms, web UIs for workers and page. And we also learned about Google AI Studio's features, and we learned about how to implement our platforms in this flow. AI is a partner to software engineers, even if you don't have any technical background. You have to ask first with some kind of golden prompts and start implementing after the implementation of the plans. And then you will run a test using integration tests or using headless browsers. We haven't tested it so far because we are just waiting the readiness of these phases. So after finishing these phases, we're gonna use this prompt in order to test and get report on every features we have implemented so far, and for example bugs or etc. And we also try to explain our features, and we also try to get the explanation from AI why you have to choose this option, why we have to choose this option. And then after it, if everything is smooth and everything is ready, you can just commit and see on your GitHub. Okay, as you can see, cloud is not stable so far. It's again stopped. We have to work cloud up. So I'm going to say just continue. Mhm. And we talked about the levels, so how to trust AI, how to review AI. Yeah, this was the main goal of these sessions so far. So I hope you learned something new from this session. So if you have any questions, you can ask. I'm ready to answer regarding to AI agents, Google AI Studios, etc. So I think if you don't have any questions, we can just wrap up and finish. Yeah, it's still building, so we have to wait some time. It's taking too much time. I don't know why. So I guess we can finish the recording. So we haven't covered one thing. So I think you will test on yourself. So headless browsers for your applications, for your platforms, using just headless browsers.